I'm going to go. Let's go region by region. We're going to start breaking this down region by region. We're going to start in the South, where Alabama is the #1 overall seed. And I'm just going to let's lay it out like this. I already said I think that Alabama's got the easiest path, RC. Obviously, they're getting. Do you think they're going to have any issues with that first round game, with the playing game against the 16th seed? I don't see it. If you do, correct me if I'm wrong.
Alabama?
Yeah.
No. Hell
yeah.
no.
All right. So just looking through the bracket, where do you think that they can get picked off? Is there anyone here that can get them?
I don't see it. I mean, I don't see it. I don't know where. I mean, where could it possibly be? I think there'll be some upsets. I don't know Virginia can score enough points down the line if they meet San Diego State. I think
it's going to be somebody in the elite. It's going to be somebody in the Elite Eight if it gets somebody going.
Yeah, it's going to be who's playing well. But when I look at that size of the bracket, I mean, we talked about it last night. I think Arizona is the team that we felt as though could possibly help and make a run. I'm not.
I just want to preface everything you say about what we said last night. I don't remember it.
You remember anything?
We were up so late.
We were. Now I will say this: that Creighton NC State matchup is,
pretty sexy. It's pretty sexy.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm going to ask you some of that about it. All right, the upset that you like in the South region. And I'm going to qualify an upset as an 11 seed or higher winning. I don't consider 10 over 7 an upset. I just consider that a game.
NC State over Creighton, 11-6.
T.O.?
Both at 5-12 and 4-13. Those are both cute. Let's put it that way. They're cute. They're intriguing. Charleston over San Diego State and Furman over Virginia. Virginia is so tough defensively, but Furman has an outlet guy in Jalen Slauson that when things get rough, like they can shoot it, and Slauson can figure it out for him. I like that Furman Virginia game.
Mm-hmm. Mike Bothwell might end up being the best scorer on the floor in that game too. Yeah. We saw him go nuts against Stephen F. Austin.
They were going to be my mid-major upset. I think that's the worst matchup for him.
Really?
Because you're talking about ACC Defensive Player of the Year guarding him. You really think Reese Beekman? He's going to get out on Reese Beekman and the way that they control the pace. I think it's a tough matchup for him.
The reason I think that they can is because he's so big and strong that I think that he will be able to handle Reese Beekman from like a physicality standpoint. He's got that old man lefty crafty. I'm going to find a way to get to my left no matter what happens kind of a game. I really like Charleston over San Diego State as well. I mentioned it already. I think it's going to be a 12-13 game in the second round there. I'm not sold on a lot of these Mountain West teams. I kind of need to see it to believe it with them. And I think that Charleston's going to find a way to get it done. After all,
see, that's funny you say that because I'm looking at the West bracket and Boise State, Northwestern. I like Boise State in that game.
Yeah, well, that's because they're playing against Northwestern, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, time to stop the Northwestern slander. Kevin Sweeney would never.
You mentioned NC State against Creighton as a potential upset. I agree with that one. I also think it's worth mentioning Santa Barbara over Baylor. Santa Barbara's got some dudes, right? They got a kid named Ray Harrison that is an absolute bucket. A big guard. Miles Norris is a former top 50 recruit, played at Oregon. They got a kid that transferred in from Cal. They got big high level athletes, and I think that they will be able to give Baylor a little bit of trouble. I think that they'll be able to score on Baylor. The question is, do they have enough length and athleticism in their backcourt to be able to deal with those guards? Who knows? You see Arizona in any trouble?
No, Arizona's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Princeton's best players are 5 man. I can't remember the kid's name, but
Tosin and Bosaman.
I was about to say, let's call Sean Paul real quick. No, but that's his guy. But no, their best players are big man. He's got a tough matchup.
Yeah, they do have some high major. I literally just did our courting Cinderella with an Ivy League coach today. They got some size. They got like a 6'9", 240 dude that starts, and Tosin is about 6'8" and 225. So they're a little bit bigger and more athletic than a typical mid-major. The question is going to be like, if you pull them out, they want to go with Tosin at the 5 and space the floor, but they don't really shoot it quite well enough for me to say like Arizona's in a little bit of trouble there. All right, what's the most interesting first round matchup? What's the one that you're kind of circling and saying you got to watch that one
in the South?
Yeah, in the South.
I
I'm
mean,
going
the
Creighton,
obvious
NC State.
great NC State.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that one. Maryland, West Virginia could get interesting. Of course, they might also get in a fight.
Well,
It might
yeah.
be-
But
it might
both,
be. It might be the first one to 21.
yeah, that's right. So it depends on what kind of basketball you like.
No, I think it's going to be Creighton, NC State. Lots of really good guards in that game. What's the best potential matchup? Looking down the road, looking further into the bracket, what do you like? What's the one that you have circled where you say we got to make sure that we can see that one? We got to. That's what you got to root for. Anything? Anybody?
I'm hoping for the South Carolina Charleston Furman game.
Hey guys, just a reminder, our sponsor for today's episode is Run Your Pool. They are hosting the Field of 68 Bracket Challenge. This year, they are giving away $1,500 in free prizes. It's all an incentive for you to get on there and find out just how good their platform is. I've been using them for my bracket pools for years. I've used them for Super Bowl squares. I use them for everything that I need to use them for. The biggest survivor pool that I'm in for both NFL and NCAA tournament is by Run Your Pool. So go check them out. The link's below. Tap in.
South
Don't
Carolina
see.
one.
I think that's the worst matchup for Furman is Virginia. I think that's a brutal matchup for me for them.
Yeah, but the only thing I would counter is because Virginia doesn't score more than 60 points in any game they play. Like, obviously I'm tongue in cheek there when I say that, but like because of the style that they play, they're susceptible to teams that hit threes. Furman hits threes, so that's kind of where I could see them getting out. Is it a tough matchup? Sure, but I'm telling you that this offense that Bob Ritchie runs, it's tough to guard. It's not easy. It's not easy offense to scout out.
Mm-hmm. I really hope that we end up seeing Alabama and Arizona in this one. I know it's kind of a cop out to say like, oh, I really want to see the two best teams play for the right to go to the Final Four. But beyond that, there's not a ton of matchups in this that I kind of look at and I'm like, yeah, that's super intriguing. That's what I really need to see. All right, we mentioned a couple of mid majors, right? UCSB, Charleston, Furman all have the chance to put together a run to get to a Sweet 16. I want to ask you guys the player. Give me a player from one of these mid-major teams that has the ability to maybe do to pull a Max A. Smith to kind of be able to put together a little bit of run, put up some 30-point games, become the guy that steals everybody's hearts. Remember Harold the Show Arsenal? You guys remember him, right? Who?
I think we just talked about him. I think it's Mike Bothwell. I think he's the guy. I mean, he's gonna be the guy if they're gonna make some noise, and that would be a hell of an upset early on, and he's gonna have to play well. I think him in the big ability to stretch the floor outside, it's gonna be as a big man. I think that's the biggest thing that happens when you start playing in these games. These mid-major schools is having big men that can stretch the floor, like stretch fives, and that would give Virginia some trouble because they're accustomed to playing bigs in the post and they double the post.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's one, and then Dalton Bolin for Charleston's an intriguing one. If the people who are going to do that game actually do their homework, and that's a very up in the air proposition. If they can get an eye patch Dalton Bolin for the game, show pictures of eye patch Dalton Bolin, that would be awesome. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it or not, but he's one of those guys. He's a toughness guy. He's I don't know, he might be 28 years old, but it's one of those things like it's such a story with so many Division II transfers and NAI and all that stuff. If they're able to do that, that would be one to watch. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it's Bothwell, Mike Bothwell.
Yeah, I think Bothwell's right. I just didn't want to pile on.
Yeah.
I think we're all on it. He's such a stud, dude. He's just
strong.
an absolute bucket. Yeah, like he's everything that you think a mid-major player is going to be. He's not super athletic. He's got that old man game. He kind of looks like one of these guys is going to be playing until he's 65 years old, down at the rec. What he's gonna do in 20 years is he's gonna be jumping on the field to 60. Well, by then it'll probably be the field of 96 after dark, and he'll be pulling the PO saying, "Guys, I just got 25 and 12 in church league last night."
Yeah, there you go. That's what he'll say.
All right, let's make some picks. Let's lay out our bracket. So I want your Sweet 16 picks out of this region. RC, we'll go with you first.
Oh,
You want me to lay it out while you guys look? Here, I'll lay it out. I filled out my I got all my picks in there already. We're good to go. So I'll lay mine out first. I have Alabama getting past West Virginia in the second. I have Charleston beating Furman in the second round. I have NC State beating Baylor to get to the Sweet 16. And then I have Arizona beating Missouri to get to the Sweet 16. So I'll have Alabama, Charleston, NC State, and Arizona in my Sweet 16. RC, what do you got?
I got Alabama. I have Virginia, NC State, and I'm gonna go Arizona.
The ACC is strong with that one, T.O. What do you have?
I'm going Alabama. I am in a conundrum between Charleston and Furman because at Charleston, older players, they play together.
Go with your heart. You know what you want. That's your hometown team. You got to go with it. Go with your heart. You got to take it.
All right, I'm going for all right. So Sweet 16, Alabama, Furman over Virginia, Charleston over San Diego State. Furman beats Charleston, and then I'm going Baylor because there's just something about that team I just can't let it go. So I'm going Baylor over Santa Barbara, Creighton over NC State. I think the interesting is going to come in. I think Creighton's going to, Creighton over NC State, and then I'm going to go Creighton over Baylor. So Creighton to the Sweet 16.
Tio, you know what concerns me about that matchup?
What's that?
As good as defensive player is Kalkbrenner is, the
DJ
worst
Burns.
nightmare for a big would be a guy like DJ Burns. Just his size, the way he plays. You talk about an old man game. He's going to be playing in a Y when he's 50. You know what I mean? And giving you buckets.
That's right. I'll say
it's just
that.
a weird style of play that I think that that's why I know you're familiar with him. That's why I asked you that.
Yeah, walking refrigerator with ballerina feet. DJ Burns, love him.
I call him a dancing bear.
Dancing bear. I like that. I like that too. The only thing with it is it's amazing to me how Kalkbrenner doesn't foul, and he has gone through the ringer when it comes to the Big East and the big men that are in that league. Like he knows how to play against guys that like to get in your body. I would actually. I think Creighton's going to beat them. I like Creighton in the Sweet 16 in that part, and then I'm going Mizzou over Utah State, Arizona over Princeton, Arizona. Mm-hmm. So that would be Alabama. Did I pick Furman? Alabama, Furman, Creighton, Arizona.
All right, and then I will have Alabama beating Arizona to get to the Final Four. Alabama is my South Region champion, and I don't think it's necessarily going to be all that close for them to get there. Anyone disagree?
They got the easiest bracket.
Yeah. Anyone disagree? T.O., you disagree?
I think Alabama makes it, but they beat Creighton in the Elite Eight.
Creighton in the Elite. I love it. Look at this. Look at this. You got a Big East team beating an ACC team in the first round and getting to the Elite Eight.
I don't like that matchup.
Hey, look, RC, he is a full-blown Big East guy. He is gone. He is
see, here's the thing.